Good evening, fans, and welcome to Big Bear Ice Arena. Got a little bit of a modified setup, as you can tell here. A little different view, broadcasting from a plywood, booth overlook. I do think it's safe. We checked it out before. Scan the ice. That's Valor down on the other side, but we will get to see Valor attack side twice. I'll be working the audio and filming at the same time, so hopefully I can get this worked out the best. Anyway, boys are playing against Grandview tonight, so Grandview, I do think, puck incoming. Grandview is their second year, I think, in the varsity with their own, where'd that puck go? Second year with the varsity team. All these Grandview kids used to play with Creek in the one team, but now they're their own team. So anyway, we'll get this going. I should be able to give some audio, and hopefully I can pick up the camera well enough too. It won't be ideal, but at least you'll be able to tune in as fans of Valor varsity hockey. So again, not a super challenge ahead of the boys today, but every game's important to win. I do believe this one counts in the standings. That said, there was not somebody there to check us in. We'll drop it, do the intros, and get right back to the broadcast. And there we go. The anthem and the intros, and now we'll get this game started. So again, on paper, Valor a heavy favorite. Again, Grandview with their second year as a varsity team. The boys will assemble. Out of the lineup tonight is Max Sutter. I talked with Max before the game. He's dealing with a hip injury, a hip pointer of some sort. I think he went down kind of hard. Doesn't really want to push it, so he's going to make sure he doesn't re-injure it. And here we go. Draws one back by Grandview. They control. Dump it off of the board. Now it's played by Fisher. He tries to bring it in. Grandview intercepts. Maddox will play it over to the side. Surveys the ice. Maddox does. Up to Gabe. Starts the breakout. Gabe speeding up, getting closer and closer just out of Dawson's stick, down into the corner. Dawson playing. Look for a centering pass. Doesn't connect with either Maddox or Gabe, who both of them were camped right in front. There's O'Donnell right to the front. Blue tapes the blue. Tries to go blue line to blue line pass. That does not work. O'Donnell's going to regroup. Back to Maddox. Speed through the neutral zone over to Dawson. Dawson up to Gabe, still hustling on it. Gabe winds right here in front of the camera, shovels it over to Dawson. Dawson gets pushed off that. Gabe back to himself. The boys start the line change. Baker line comes on. Back to King. Middle ice, he surveys, wait for his troops to join him, and still brings it off sides. Wow, it looked like Jackson spent forever before he brought that puck in. Regardless, that is brought in off sides. So Baker working with Bevan and Hoyt. Played back by Grandview. They try and chip it out. They do get it in, but King just taps it back out to neutral zone. Grandview sends it back down in. Gogol's back there. Hillroop, he's got all kinds of time. Delayed off. You can hear the ref there saying off, off. The boys might not have heard that, though, and so then we're going to bring that one out for an offsides. So 15:44 in and 0-0. Draws one back by Grandview. There's Bevan on the forecheck. Good work by Jack. Tries to bring it in. He does get it in. Brings it all the way back down into the corner. There's centering pass. Doesn't connect. That puck's loose in front. Grandview fishes it out. Backhands it out of harm's way, and that will be an ice. That's all they could do to just get that pressure. So good work back behind the net by Bevan to get that centering pass out. We'll bring that all the way back down for an O-zone face-off right here in front of us. This is right in front of us. This is Jimenez working with Purchase and Bodine. Draws one control by Grandview back into their corner. They're trying to get it out. Bodine pops it back out to the point. Oh, Foy tries to shoot and he fans on that. Now Grandview's trying to go the other direction. They don't. Punt on, back on side. Purchase up to, there's Bodine. He's got space. Shot and another field goal. He had a few of those last night. Shoots it 2 feet over the net. Plenty of space, shoots it all the way over the net. Popped right back down in. Bodine might have another chance at it. Centering pass pops up deep to Foy. Foy over to Coffey. Coffey shot deflection. There's another chance. Oh, Jimenez is going to be able to tee that one up. Coffey pops it back out to Jimenez. This line's working hard. They're able to spring it loose as Grandview pops out to Foy. Foy to Coffey. Centers it, sends it in. Tries to pop it out. Grandview does get it out. Brought back in, no, intercepted at the blue line. The boys will give chase along the boards. Grandview's going to try and organize it. Tape to tape, pass doesn't connect. Bodine has it. He's going to circle around. He's going to regroup, look for some help. Pops it back up top to Foy. Foy circles back down to Canapari. There's Canapari. Saved by the goalie. Good to see Canapari back. Haven't seen him here in a couple of games. Good to call his name. Good shot there by Canapari. So good pressure by that line. They were in here for a long time. Canapari working with Deep and Tarbert. Draws one back to point by Stanley up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell tries to get it back down in. That doesn't come in. There Canapari fiddles with down in the corner, rims it around. Tarbert gives some assistance back too. Boys are battling for it on the corner. Pops up top. Stanley's going to send it back in. The boys have to regroup. Canapari gives chase. He gets some assistance. Tarbert lays off of it. Tries to get it back down in. Deep's going to keep it in. And eventually they manage to get it out. I didn't realize I am in prime firing zone here for an errant puck. Standing atop two lawn chairs here, probably not super safe. Let's hope I don't get an errant deflection up here and knock me off the pedestal. We'll try the Fisher lines back out here working again. There's Maddox right down below us here in the box. Dawson, sharp angle shot. That doesn't connect. Leaves it back behind the net. Puck comes right back out to us, and that's all Grandview can do is just clear it. The relentless pressure by Valor. Holy moly. Hard pressure here. And it's been ozone after ozone after ozone draw. Grandview's already getting worn down. You can tell definitely a talent mismatch here. Takes a while to build these programs up. I think Valor struggled the first few years when they were building their program up. Gogol goes down to Dawson, sends it back around to Fish. Fish looks around, cycles, tries to cycle up top. Didn't track that puck very well. So 13:07 left here in this first period. It's been all Valor. Dawson shot. That one's blown dead. Nobody saw where the puck was. I sure didn't see it, and I'm standing right here with a bird's eye view of the rink. Dawson tried to pound that one in on the side. Draws one back by Maddox. Goal! Good work there by Maddox to brother Dawson. A little bit of a subdued celebration as we might see a lot of these goals, and you won't hear my typical goal call there, but that is a good face-off win by Maddox to Dawson, who's able to muscle through and score the first goal. So 12:58 left first period, and Valor goes up 1-0. Baker line out there now. Baker wins it back to Hoyt. Hoyt pops it up to Bevan. Bevan works it into the zone, drops it for Hoyt. Hoyt leaves it in front. Baker is pounding on it. Puck is loose. Baker still working at it. Down in the corner. Penalty's drawn. It's a boarding call there, so we'll get to see the boys go to work here with the man advantage. So this should be a good opportunity to work this 5-on-4 here. Definitely a huge talent mismatch here. This is where you want to see the good disciplined puck movement. Should be able to work on the power play, moving it around. PP1 unit is out here. Fisher in the face-off circle. Oh, we're waiting for them to put the penalty up on the scoreboard here. All right, we got it locked and loaded. Let's see if the boys can go to work here. Draws one, controlled by Valor. Bodine works down in the corner, pops it back up top to Maddox. Maddox to Hoyt. Hoyt with some space, back to Dawson. Dawson tries to go 5-hole. Pretty good play there. We're going to try and regroup it again here. Maddox over to Hoyt. Hoyt back to Dawson. Oh, he can't control. He was maybe thinking shot a little bit too soon. They're going to regroup. Maddox to Hoyt. He can't control. Stick gets in the way, doesn't go into the netting. Dawson plays it back to Maddox. They're going to work it back around the perimeter. Hoyt takes a step. Shot saved by the goalie. Good work, but Bodine with it. Pins it back up to Maddox. Maddox with some time, creates some space for himself. Pops it over to Maddox. Back over to Hoyt. Shot saved. Goalie. So pretty good puck movement there. 1:12 left in the penalty. Good puck movement there. You get to see this power play work up close like this. Some pretty good puck movement there. Good practice this for when they were playing against some of those more formidable opponents. Puck pops out to the top. Dawson corrals back up to Maddox. He sets up shop. Over to Hoyt. Hoyt with some space. Oh, good backdoor pass. Doesn't connect. Passes it back to Bodine. Bodine some space. Back up to Dawson. Over there to Maddox. Big rebound. Hoyt's going to regroup. Shot. That goes wide. Over to Dawson. He's along the boards working. Hoyt with some space again. All kinds of room. Pops it over to Gabe. Another shot there. 3 shots for $1 here. Gabe pops it back out to Hoyt. Hoyt's going to work the cycle. Over to Dawson. Back up top to Maddox. Maddox to Hoyt. Shot saved. Look for the deflection in front. That pops out. Dawson's going to keep it in. Back up to Maddox. Tries to get Bodine, who would skate it past it. Back to works out anyway. Over to Gabe. Hoyt's going to work it back over to Maddox. Maddox back right below us to Dawson. All kinds of time. Score. Good puck movement there. That's just too much for this team, too, to handle. That was good to watch, too. So Valor with the quick 2-0 lead. And it has been all Valor so far. So 10:50 left in the first period. Baker lines out there now. Pardon me, that's Canapari line there. Grandview's going to take it, try and organize something, some sort of breakout. Pops back to Foy. Foy to Coffey. Coffey surveys, deep pops it in, doesn't quite get it in, almost pops it in the bench. It's sent all the way down in, off the dasher. Canapari gets there, bodies him off. Grandview, pretty good defensive play, but Canapari is working in there good with deep. Deep provides some assistance, 2-on-2. Canapari tries to move that puck out of there. That puck is caught up. Boys are battling down there. Holy moly, that's some stick activity. Deep comes out with it. Looks up too late to see Tarbert there. Pops it back out to Coffey. Deflected, doesn't make it on net. Canapari still working back behind the net. Good active stick. Now Tarbert working down in the corner. Canapari gets to it first. Shot is on goal. Tarbert's going to regroup. He's going to leave it back behind for Canapari. Canapari turns and tries to fire it in. Kept in by Foy. Grandview's able to tap it out. So now the boys are going to have to regroup. Coffey's going to do just that. Cycles it over to Foy. Foy with some space. He takes a good play there by Foy to take that open ice he had. Brings it down into the corner. Gets some support. Purchase is now down working with it. Perch gets sealed off there by a couple. Working with Jimenez. Puck comes in. Bodine back on it. He leaves it for defense. Was not so sure about that play, but Jimenez plays it. Now the boys are going to regroup. Back down again behind the net. And it's a fast-moving game. Grandview tries to get it out, and that is deflected, so that will wave off the icing. Havikos will play it back behind the net. Chipped up to Jimenez. He can't corral it. Puck is loose in the middle. Here comes Grandview. That's a first shot on goal, I think. Pretty easily sticked aside by Havikos. They leave it back in, send it back down into the corner. Bodine battles with it down in the corner. Stanley comes out with it. Stanley surveys. 2 goals last night for Roger. Really good game. O'Donnell's playing it now. He outlet pass up. Intercepted by Bodine. He's on the forecheck now. Rimmed around by Grandview. Jimenez keeps it in. He gets sealed off. Bodine comes to help out. Purchase is there. Good work back up top to O'Donnell. Sends it back down into the corner. Bodine gives battle. Intercepted by Purchase. Good work by Perch. He's got 3 on it. Grandview comes out with it, though. Kid from Grandview shovels it in. Sticked aside very easily by Havikos. Left back in, back behind by O'Donnell. More time, and that Bodine line is still out there. These boys need to get off the ice. Bodine with some time. He's going to regroup. Doesn't like what he sees. Ryan's it back over to O'Donnell. O'Donnell starts to break out. There's Baker. Baker tries to stay handled out of there. Bodine is still on the ice. This is setting a new record for shift time. Boys need to get a change in. Dumped in by Stanley. The boys will have to regroup. Baker gives chase. So does Bevan. Ripped back around. Hoyt steals. Good job, Hoyt. Good pass up top to King. King tries to get one in low to Baker. And that is covered up by the goalie. 7:23 left. First period. Baker lying out there, wins it back to himself, tries to chip it up front to Bevan. That play worked earlier. Good stick by Joey to keep that one in. Grandview panic pass over there, sends it over. Hoyt's there first, pops up top to King. King sends it down deep to Bevan. Shot saved by the goalie. Good shot there by Jack. Pops all the way back up top to Gogol. He backhands it over to Jack right below us. Back to Hoyt. They're going to change places. Check misses. Bevan working back behind the net. He's got plenty of time to survey. He's going to dump it back for Hoyt. Hoyt back to Bevan. Shot save again. Good save by that goalie again. That's a couple good saves by the goalie on this shift. Good hard shot. Deflection. Good deflection by Baker. I didn't pick that one up on the camera, but take my word for it. Good shot by Gogol from the point. And Baker there on a deflection. 3-0 Valor. 6:41 left in the first period. Fisher line now out there. Draws one. Dawson controls. Leaves it for Foy. Foy makes it in. Fish, good shot by Fish. Another good save by that goalie. Pops all the way back up top to Coffey. Deflection, glove save by the goalie. 6:23 left, 3-0 Valor. Face off right below us here. Draws one back, controlled. Maddox tries to center across to Dawson. Shot tries that deflection in front. Pretty good idea there. Puck still loose. Dawson, Maddox battles out, goes around one, makes some space, tries that little pass in there to Gabe. That didn't come through. Grandview now on the outlet, kept in by Foy. Gabe goes back to Maddox. Maddox with some speed in. He's in by himself. Tries to go 5-hole. Another save by this goalie, and he'll just glove that one down. Canapari line out there now. Canapari again working with Tarbert and deep. Puck pucks out to good traffic in front. It's Mateo Canapari with a shot and deep right there to try and clean up some scraps on the doorstep. Draws one back. Tarbert shovels it back to Stanley. Good stop move there at the point. Tarbert surveys. He dumps it down into the corner. Canapari right down below us. O'Donnell keeps that one in. Grandview sends it back out into the corner. Tarbert gets there. Good stick lift there. Good battle. Bodied off by Deep. Goes in there kind of soft. No need to try and be too forceful here, I suppose. Popped out by Grandview. See if they can start the rush. O'Donnell gets to it first. O'Donnell will circle back around. Outlet pass up to Deep. Deep makes the zone pretty easily. Good use of some body there to create some space. Shot tries to go low again. They've tried that a few times. Another good save by that goalie. If nothing else, he's getting some great practice. Grandview gets to it, pops it right back up top to O'Donnell, and he has the hard shot, which is easily gloved down by the goalie. So shots already are 18-1 in favor of Valor. 4:56 left in this first period. Jimenez wins the draw. Jimenez working down deep. Bodain's there down low. Good centering pass. Pops out to Gogol. Gogol back down deep to Bodain. Shovels it back up top to Gogol. Shot save. Good work there by these boys. Working hard in the trenches there. Bodain, good job getting that up to Gogol and then going for the net in case there was a rebound. Jimenez in the face-off circle, draws one. Purchase controls up to Gogol, down low to Bodain. He's got plenty of time to Purchase. Good 1-2 there from Bodain and Perch. Now Grandview's going the other direction. They try and get it through. That's Gogol through the legs. That doesn't connect. King chips that one up into the boards. He'll get another chance there from back behind his own net. Backhands it up. Bodain can't control it. Pops back up to Jackson. He's got another chance. Tries to back it up. Needs to give a little bit. That one's called off sides. Not so sure how or what. Or it must have been a hand pass there. Actually, my correction. Baker line out there now. Baker wins the draw back to top. Foy down low, back to Bevan. He can't control it. Maintains possession, does Jack. Good body there to stay with it. Comes out with it, working along the wall, leaves it for Foy. Foy down low again to Baker, deflection. Another save by this goalie. Save after save after save. 3:50 left, first period. We'll try it again down in the O zone. Baker working back to Bevan. Bevan battles to gain control of that puck. He's sealed off. Bevan, good job fishing it all the way up top to Hoyt. Sorensen turns and tries to fire one on net. Through way too much traffic. Baker's now going to work it around. Tries to stick handle through a few. Grandview's seen enough, and they chip it out of the zone. Foy regroups, he circles it around, tries to chip it up along the boards. That doesn't connect. Coffey, outlet pass to Bevan. Bevan tries to connect with Baker through the middle zone, but then here comes Hoy with some speed. Winds all the way back behind the net. Goal. Not so sure Hoyt even knew that was in, but that was a goal. That was a turned and fired it from just below us here on the platform in off the goalie's head, and we'll add another tally in, and that is another goal. So Sorensen with some good speed from the neutral zone. Using that speed, goes all the way back behind the net, and in a sharp angle shot, I think just trying to center it or something. No one knew it was in. I heard Hoyt say, "Is that in?" It sure was, Hoyt. It's chipped in by Maddox. Puck rolls all the way back in. I thought Maddox got a stick on that. Apparently not. 2:59 left, first period, 4-0. So you might see run clock here pretty soon. Draws one back by Grandview. We're trying to assemble it. It's intercepted by Gabe, and they keep it in. I thought Maddox was going to get one up to brother Dawson. Now he finally gets one up to Dawson. Dawson surveys. Shot off the post. Good hard shot by Dawson. Now Grandview is going the other direction. That's just pitched all the way up to Stanley. He'll play it. Battle along the boards. Stanley working a little nonchalant with that defensive play. Does get it back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell up to Maddox. Maddox taps it up. Fisher gets there first. Fish toe drang around one. That was just Dawson hanging out on the doorstep. Good work by Fish to get it over to Dawson, who was just camped out on that back door. Nothing the goalie could do about that one. Canapari line out there now. Draws one back into the corner. King will get back there and play that over to Gogol. Gogol works the outlet pass, and that is out of Tarbert's range. Goalie will come up and play it. He's seen enough, bangs that all the way down, and the goalie will be icing on that one. I hadn't seen that one in a while. Goalie came out and played that one a few paces outside the crease and ripped it all the way down the other end of the ice. 1:59 left here, second period. Canapari in the face-off circle. Canapari wins. That one's on net. Nobody saw that one. Grandview manages to play it. Tarbert jams at it in front. He's still pounding at it. Goalie sets that one down. And a little bit of pushing and shoving, which is unnecessary when you're up 5-0. But Tarbert kept pounding at that puck, which is the right move because it hadn't been blown dead yet. So face-off right down below us. There's Canapari in the face-off circle. Tries to win it about to himself, that little set play. Grandview comes out with it. Outlet pass just out of that kid's stick. Does get to it. Gogol, good job of sealing him off. Gogol takes a hard hit from that big kid who then broke a stick. Deep comes out with it. Goes around defender pretty easily. Another easy save by that goalie. Puck right through the midside into Tarbert. Tarbert sends it back behind the net. Deep races to get there. Good job by Carson. It's given tons of space. Winds through a few. Tries to stick handle through more. Canapari tries to backhand one through. Still working right to the slot. Saved on Tarbert. Another good shot. Try to backhand it out. They can't get it out. Sent back down into the corner. Now Grandview with some space here. Sent in. Foy tries to go off the board, but that's intercepted. Doesn't make it through. Now it's sent down in. Played up by Canapari. D-to-D pass by Grandview. Bodine intercepts, and he gets bodied off by a bigger player. They're able to punch it out, so Valor's going to have to regroup. Good pass there by Coffey. Gets it to Jimenez to Bodine. That one just off the side of the net. Good pass there by Jimenez. Jimenez still working, tries to get it down low. Jimenez still working. Grandview is able to finally corral it, get it out of zone. Coffey swings it back over to Foy, up to Jimenez. Jimenez working, he's working with Purchase, tries to go to Perch, and he's out of his outstretched stick. Bodied by Jimenez, comes up with Bodine. He turns and fires right on goal. Another save, and that will do it for the end of the first period. So Valor with the 5-0 lead. Let's see if they're going to make the ice. I'd be surprised if they do. After one period, score 5-0. I think they're talking about making the ice. Looks like they'll skate to the benches, so at least one section of ice being made, and the shots after period one are 23-1. So Valor certainly with some good pressure, which is what you'd expect, and we'll see what the coach comes up with after first intermission here. We'll be back with you after 10 minutes. And we're back. Probably should be a little bit easier to film or record this with the puck likely being down in that side of the ice most of the period. Anyway, we'll start it right off with the Baker line. Draws one back. Grandview's going to send it in all the way down in. Stanley will have to play it from back behind the net. Outlet pass to Hoyt. Hoyt tries to outlet, but now he gets it back himself. He winds through a couple. Hoyt with some speed down the side. Crossing pass. And that's a cross check. I'm not so sure if that's on Bevan or if that was on the person who cross-checked Bevan, but it looks like Bevan's going to the box with the cross check on the goalie. Okay, now we'll get to see the boys go on the PK here. Maddox working with Hoyt here on the PK. See if Grandview can get something started. Shot in, deflected, doesn't make it through. Sealed off back behind the net. Here's Hoyt with some speed. Tries to get it out himself. Does pop out to Maddox. Maddox up to Hoyt. Hoyt one-on-one. Goes around one. Tries the deke. Doesn't make it through. Pretty cute move, though. Pops back out to Maddox. Maddox will send it all the way back down to the corner. Havikos will play it in the corner. He'll send it back over to O'Donnell. O'Donnell kicks it back over to Stanley. Stanley out back up to Hoyt. Now the boys have a 2-on-1 going. Maddox to Hoyt. Hoyt score. Deep is now working out there with Tarbert. Draws one back by Tarbert, controlled. He'll send it back to King, and King will launch it down the length of the ice. 15:40 left first period. 1 minute left to kill in this power play. Grandview tries to get it past Deep, they're unsuccessful. Pops it up, Tarbert intercepts. Grandview makes the zone. Good stick there by Gogol to break it up, and Gogol will send it all the way back down the length of the ice. Played back behind the net by the Grandview goalie. Grandview will start to break out. See if they can organize something here. Outlet pass. Oh, fumbles on that transition pass there. Comes back to Gogol. Off the boards. Now Tarber's just going to kick that one down in. 15 minutes left in the second period. 6-0 Valor. Still struggling with some zone entry. Grandview will go D to D pass there. Good stick there by Deep to menace and break that up. Grandview's going to have to reorganize. This should do it for the penalty. Cross ice pass does not connect, and that is deflected, so no icing is called. Played back in behind the net by Gogol. Intercepted by Grandview. Centering pass attempt. Looking for their first goal. Pretty good opportunity. Bodine outlet pass up to Tarbert. Out of his outstretched stick. Tarbert back to Bodine. Bodine another shot, another save by that goalie. Good pass by Tarbert on that center. Just a little bit late, as Bodine was already pretty deep into that play. A lot of shots by Bodine, but most have been straight into the goalie. Jimenez lying out there now. Draws one by Jimenez to himself up back behind the net. Purchase camped out in front, back to Bodine in the slot. He fumbles that. Got to have that, contain that pass. Pretty good pass right to the slot. Purchase comes out with it, dumps it back to Perch, back to Bodine. Bodine tries to get another one. He fans on that one, pops all the way back up to Coffey. Save goalie. We are playing running clock now, 13:25 left, and we'll leave those troops out there. Nope, we'll get some new ones. Canapari comes back out there. Draws one back up top to Coffey. Back down low. Deep with some speed and a hard shot. Pretty easy glove save by the goalie. No traffic in front to screen that shot. Deep wins the draw to himself. Real, that's Canapari hustling hard. Back to Tarbert's side of the goal. Doesn't make it through. Canapari working back behind the net. Canapari fishes it back down deep to Tarbert. Grandview intercepts. They've seen enough. Pops it out top to Foy. Foy will keep it in down low. Pops back out. Good job. Here comes Coffey from his point. He's going to sail it all the way in. Goes back up top to Foy. Foy shot through some traffic. Save. 12:08 left. Second period. 6-0 Valor. Maddox is out there now working with his brother. Pops back out to Maddox. Shot goes wide. Dawson works on it in the corner. Grandview gets there first, gets around Dawson. Pops it back out to Maddox. Maddox will have to reorganize it. Good stretch pass outside of Dawson's stick. It's sent all the way back in. O'Donnell's going to have to play that, and I'm going to have to move the camera as well. Got a little complacent. Now it plays back to Maddox. Maddox cross-ice pass doesn't connect with Stanley. Stanley looking to extend his goal-scoring streak to 2 games. Maddox with some time. Cross-ice pass to Gabe. Through Dawson, streaking through the middle. Gabe gets it back, takes a stick off the boot, makes his own easily. Maddox, oh, good quick shot by Maddox. That was a cool shot. Real quick release there. Baker line out there now. Baker working with Hoyt and Bevan. Grandview comes out with it. They start the outlet. The breakout pass doesn't connect. Gogol runs into somebody. Takes a couple of high sticks to the face. Think that might be called. Guess not. Gogol falls down. Hoyt comes out with some speed. Centering pass. Looks for Baker. Can't quite connect. Bevan will wheel back around. Leaves it back for Hoyt. Hoyt back to the blue line, but he loses control of it. He'll reorganize with some speed. His solo mission now. Gets past 1, past 2. Down in the corner, centering pass again. Out of reach, and Gogol will play that down in the corner with Joey. Joey Baker will play it. He'll turn looking for a shot. Shot directly into the goalie from above the circle. Shot's a shot. 6-0. Draws one back. Coffey can't control it on the point, so the boys will have to regroup. Foy with some speed down the side will launch it down in. Boys are now on the chase. Grandview gets there, tries the outlet pass, intercepted. Purchase working back behind the net. He's sealed off, pops out front to Bodine. Another fan on it, puck loose in front. Goalie falls down, back up to Coffey. Another save. Holy cow. A lot of activity in front of the net. Pretty hard to see. I get it, small screen. Draws one back up top. Coffee. Down low again to Foy. Shot goes wide. Good shot by Foy. Looking for a corner. Popped back up. Boys try and get it out. Jimenez. Boys are just all over this. Grandview comes out with it. They make the middle line, and they're going to send it all the way in. Havikos will play it, and he'll blow that one dead. .8:12 left in the game, running clock. I guess as we won't make new ice after this period. Draws one back into the corner. Stanley will get there. Winds it back behind the net. Here comes Tarber. Tarber with some speed right down in front of us. Canapari comes out of it with even more speed. Out to Deep on the side. Deep loses a handle on it, but there's Stanley to pick it up. Stanley through the middle. Goes around one. Good move. Tried to tee that one up for a shot. Couldn't quite assemble it enough. O'Donnell with plenty of time now. He's got all the time in the world. He passes over to Canapari with some speed. Canapari makes the zone. Brings it in unbothered. Centering pass. Another save by the goalie. Kept down in by O'Donnell. Deep gets there. Sticks it to the side. Sticked around. Own shot by Grandview. 7:07 left. Fisher line out there now with Maddox and Dawson. Good job by Gogol to keep that in. Maddox punches it down low, goes back behind the net. Grandview gets there. It's kept in. Centering shot. Maddox. Big, hard one-timer. High and wide. Pops back up top. Gogol can't keep it in. He takes some body, absorbs a pretty good hit. Fished out by the Grandview players. Dawson will chip it out to Maddox. Maddox organizes up to King. He leaves it for Dawson and comes in off sides. 6 minutes left in the second period. Baker line will come out now. Draws one back cleanly to Foy. He can't get it in. Grandview comes out there, but they couldn't organize the puck. Passed over to Coffey. Coffey can't control it, so he turns and fires it back into the board. There's Baker. Tries to get around one. Intercepted. Grandview keeps it in. Dumps it down into the corner. Kane gets there, pops it up. Grandview can't keep it in. Comes out to the neutral zone and just scooped and dumps down in. Icing is called and will go back down the other way. 5:09 left, second period. 6-0 the score. Baker in the faceoff circle, wins it over to Hoyt. Hoyt goes back behind the net. Surveys back up top to Coffey. Coffey, time over to Foy. Foy shot wide of the goal, saved by the goalie. Jimenez line back out there now. Foy still working along the point. Foy drops it down in. Purchase there working. Gets kid from Grandview. Gets past Bodine. Starts to break out. Intercepted by Purchase. Purchase now working with Bodine. Gets him to Bodine. He can't quite turn it up. Good try to centering pass up there to Jimenez. Good work by those two. Here comes Grandview now on the rush. Intercepted by Coffey. Turns and circles through the middle. Shot saved by Havikos. Oh my goodness gracious. Chipped up the side. Jimenez rushes for it. Grandview gets there first, and now they're going the other direction. Kids can't get complacent here and just try and pad the stats. Purchase up to Bodine. He's got some space. Tries to get it through to Jimenez. That pass doesn't make it through. Bodine still working with it. Shakes off one. Whips it back up top to Coffey. Coffey down low. Jimenez back to Bodine. He can't contain that. And now Grandview gets to it, flips it up. O'Donnell gets there, and they're going to still try the rush. Up to Coffey. Coffey tries to hit Bodine, but that is not in front of him. That pass is behind him, so we'll take it all the way back down for a face-off. 3:07 left, second period. Draws one back, controlled by O'Donnell. O'Donnell to Stanley. Stanley with some time. He gets it up to Tarbert, who backhands it down into the corner, and there's Stanley still working down in the corner. Stanley works around, goes back up top to O'Donnell. Good hard shot by O'Donnell from the point. Save, goalie. 2:25 left, and that will be an ice. Goes all the way down. So Havikos did get a good save and scoring opportunity that he had to shut down from the Grandview player. The Valor kids just let the kid skate right into the slot, and Havikos was not sleeping on the job. Canapari in the face-off circle. Draw back behind the net. One, there's deep. Working backhand centering attempt. Good attempt there. Back to Canapari. Canapari still working back behind the net. Pops it up top out of O'Donnell's reach, and he's going to take his time skating back to it. Havikos will play it, leaves it back for Jackson. Jackson outlet pass up to Canapari. Good pass to Deep, who's got some speed going through the zone. Deep tries a shot from the slot, goes into the boot of the player. Deep recovers the rebound. Oh, O'Donnell a little bit slow to pull a trigger on that. Grandview tries to organize and go the other direction. 1:18 left, 1:15. Clock kicks down. Tarbert backhands it back down into the corner. Puck comes out here to O'Donnell. O'Donnell goes back the other direction. He'll try it again. D-to-D pass up to Dawson. Dawson back to Maddox. 55 seconds left. Tries to go back to Dawson. Pass is intercepted by Grandview. Deflected down in. Boys are working down in behind the net now. The Charles brothers give chase. Maddox pops over to Dawson. Centering pass attempted for Gabe. Gets popped out. Gogol can't keep it in. Gogol works it back over to King. King pass deflected into Maddox. Maddox a little bit of bother. Easily winds past that kid. Cross-ice pass to Dawson. Dawson up to Gabe. Good puck movement. Down into the corner. 21 seconds. Gabe sealed off. Good body there. Gogol D-to-D pass to King. He couldn't quite get that teed up. Back behind the net is Fish. Sends it up top to Maddox. Maddox down low to Dawson. Turn shot, save, and that will do it for the second period. We'll see if they make the ice or if they just advance to the third period. Not sure. I think they're asking the coach what they want to do. If they want to make ice or if they want to just keep the game going. I think they've said let's just keep the game going. No, it looks like they are going to make, I don't know what's happening. Refs are talking, players are at the middle, so I think that we'll just go straight into the next period. I'll give you guys a little bit of stats here. 6-0 shots on goal are 39-3. And we'll get right back to it. So we'll get to see the close-up action here. (6-0) Valor. So 17 more minutes to go. We'll play run clock the whole rest of the way. Baker wins the drawback. Foy goes over to Coffey. Coffey through Baker. Going through the zone. Tries to stick handle through a couple of kids and doesn't quite make it. Bevan gives some bother, and Bevan will regroup. He makes it through the neutral zone. Pretty good play there to dump it in deep. Backhanded by Grandview, and now see if Valor can set it up. Turns and fired. Havikos had to be paying attention because it was a save and another shot on goal. Now Hoyt with some speed. Good, hard, fast speed coming up. Gets around the entire team. Goes wide, avoids a hard check. Hopefully that kid's okay. He went into the boards hard. Voigt went for the drop pass, fumbled that one a little bit, so Coffey has to regroup. That one comes in off sides. Hopefully that player's okay because he missed that check and went in hard. Bodine, single one-man show, makes it all the way through, but only had one stick, one arm to get the shot on goal. Apologize, I didn't have the camera working on that. Shot on goal by Grandview. They're trying to get a semblance here of some pressure. Valor gets tied up, can't work it out. Grandview still working down there, and they keep the puck in. Centering pass doesn't connect. Outlet pass to Bodine, and he can't get past that kid. Now, finally, he's got a chance. Bodine with a nice touch pass up to Jimenez. Now the three forwards start to break. Jimenez goes wide. Good drop pass to Perch. He tried to go back to Bodine, but that didn't make it through. Here goes Grandview going back the other direction with some speed. Shot through a screen. That doesn't collect. Now it's back to Bodine. Tail end of a shift. Goes wide. Up top to Gabe. He fumbles it a little bit. Fumbles it back out of the zone. Now they'll go for a change. Coffey rips it back down in. Grandview will try and set it up. Pops all the way back out to Gogol. Gogol back to King. King to Fish. Fish makes the zone. He'll stop. Get it back to Dawson. Tries to tee up a shot. Stick the side back down into the corner. Back to Maddox. Maddox. That shot goes wide by Gogol. King now with the chance, and he'll send it back down into Fisher. Fish tries to go back door to Dawson. Doesn't connect, and Gogol with a good shot on it. That doesn't connect, though. Fish back to Maddox. Maddox looking for Dawson. Gogol had snuck in. He's looking for a goal. Puck right down below us. Gogol taps it in to the other player. Dawson comes out with it. Turns, winds it back to Gogol. Gogol back up top to Maddox. Back to Gogol. Right in the slot to King, but he can't control the pass. Let's see if Grandview can work it up the other direction. Grandview makes the zone. 13:25 left in the game. Maddox with some speed. All kinds of speed. Gets past 1, 2, 3, 4. Shot saved by the goalie. I was watching, wasn't filming the camera properly. Maddox back down low to Canapari. Gets pound one. Good stick work there by Canapari. Puck loose back behind the net. Boys are battling for it. Pops out. Grandview comes out with it. Diving attempt there by Dawson to break the play up. Team first. Bising's waved off. Good hard rush by that Grandview kid. Coffey working back down behind the net. Sent back down into the corner. Goes D to D. Coffey will play it up to Maddox. Comes back out of his reach, and this big defenseman from Grandview will play it back behind his own net. Outlet pass, kicked straight into the net. Canapari's working still. Tarbert joins. There's deep, spins around, back down into the corner. Tarbert back down behind the net. Tarbert back up off the dasher to Kane. Kane Coffey back to Tarbert. Tarbert back down into the corner to Deep. Deep leaves it. Back to Canapari. They're playing catch back behind. The Grandview player decides to join. So does Deep, and he comes away with it. Deep with plenty of space there, and Coffey gets in the way, and it's intercepted by Grandview, and they try to break. They're able to make it in. That's a tripping call, and so Grandview will go on to the power play. .11:26 left in the game, and we'll see Grandview with their second power play of the game. Bevan and Sorensen on the PK. Draws one back, controlled by Valor. Stanley working back behind the net. He'll dump it back down into the corner. O'Donnell took a high stick to the face, trying to clear out traffic. Shot from the point by Grandview, deflected, doesn't make it through. O'Donnell's there. He turns and rips it down the ice. Grandview goalie will have to play it. He'll stick it to the side. Here's Bevan on the bother. It's left for Grandview. See if they can start the breakout. Oh, and that is sent in to the bench by O'Donnell. I don't think anybody got hurt. Chipping that in like that can sometimes be dangerous. .10:15 left in the game. Charles brothers out there on the kill now. And the penalty is over, so we'll go back to even strength. Although the penalty's over, no one's come out of the box yet, so I guess they're comfortable hanging out in the box. Maybe we should signal over there to Purchase that they could get their next man on the ice. Think that's an ice, and we'll play 4-on-5 still. I think now we'll let him out of the box. No, we'll come out after the whistle. Draws one back by Valor, controlled by King. Fisher comes back onto the ice. Sent all the way back down in. 9 minutes left in the game. Puck is kept down in. Fisher working back behind the net. Leaves it for Dawson. Dawson back to Maddox. Maddox all kinds of space. Looks for Dawson on that one timer. They're giving Maddox all kinds of room. Tries another play in there. Back down low to Maddox. Maddox working with Dawson. He fans on the attempt. Kept in by King. Shot deflected off a boot up into the netting. And will face that one off. Purchase line out there now. This line's had some good pressure. No goal scored. Bodine working down in the corner. Both kids fall down. Grandview comes out with it, flips it out of the zone. Will go all the way down, and that will be an icing. We'll try that again. 7:24 left in the game. Bodine leaves it for Foy. Quarters to Bodine in the slot. Save again. Another good shot. Saved by that goalie. Jimenez fishes it out. You can hear the ref saying, play the puck. Bodine with some body there too. Grandview comes out with it. Trying, rimming around. Purchase closes, gets there quickly. Pops out to Foy. Foy D-to-D past to Coffey. He's got space. Shot, puck pops out. Big rebound, and they're going to clear that one all the way down the length of the ice. Canapari line out there now, 6:22 left. Wins it to Deep. Deep back behind the net, tries to bang one through. Goalie saves it again. Deep leaves it back behind. Canapari and Deep working together back there. Puck pops out. Canapari around one, tries to go around another. Pretty good work there by Mateo. Pops back out to Stanley. Leaves it for Tarbert. Shot saved by the goalie. Some really good puck movement here by the Valor boys. Granted, this team they're playing isn't quite as fast to close the gap as, say, a Pooter is, but good puck movement. A lot of shots, just pounding the stat sheet with shots. But draws one back. Deep plays it out to the middle. Tarbert tries to tee up another one. Can't keep it in. Pops out to O'Donnell. O'Donnell goes cross ice to Tarbert. Tarbert will send that all the way back down in. Deep gives chase. He gets to it first, back behind the net. Deep gets around one. Good shimmy shake there. Deep still working plenty of time. Turns, tries that Hoyt Sorensen shot, and that one goes wide and high. Back to Stanley. Now it's popped back down in. There's Tarbert. He works to get there, wound back down around. Outlet pass, and Tarbert was sprung. The defense had fallen down, but that will be an icing. We'll get some new troops on the ice. 4:40 left in the game, and this one will be in the books. Six zero Valor. You can tell they kind of stepped off the gas. Gwozdecki said there's no need to just keep putting points and goals up on the board. So now this one goes through. It is deflected, so icing is waved off. Bevan working down in the corner. And that's going to be a slash, I think. And Bevan will go to the box for the second time this game. I think he was battling for the Lady Bing trophy this year, and he's been in the box twice this game. Shot save. Puck's loose down in front. Grandview trying to put one on the board here. Dance around Baker at the line does Grandview. Now they're going to keep working the umbrella here. Another blue line to blue line pass. Send it back up top. Shot. Oh, deflected. Why? That's another good shot. Havikos had to make another good save. Baker comes out with it, gets past one, gets it up to Hoyt. Goal. .245 left in the game. Puck pops out to Dawson. Dawson with some speed, gets through. Goal. Thought that he was going to shoot that one. He popped it over to Maddox, who strangely is his first goal of the game. Draws one back by Dawson. Get it in the neutral zone. Gets through. Maddox comes out with it. He's going to reorganize. 1:58 left in the game. He's got plenty of time. Penalty's over. Sends it up to Fish. Pops out to Foy. Foy tries to bang it in. That's unsuccessful. Fish up to Maddox. Tries to go back to Dawson. Looks like a couple of skates are caught up. I don't think anyone's injured. I think it was just skates are caught up on each other. 1:24 left in the game, and this one was almost in the books. So not the most action-packed game. Sorry, not the most tense game. Very action with a lot of goals from Valor. Final minute left. Grandview comes through the neutral zone. Winds around one. Some pretty good moves by that kid. I don't remember seeing him earlier. Still working back behind the net. Valor comes out with it. Big, hard shot goes way wide. Puck's loose. Havikos pops on it. He's trying to still preserve that shutout. Pops up to Maddox. Maddox slows it down. Another goal. And that should pretty much do it. 20 seconds left. The clock ticks down. Not sure the ref will even drop the puck. I don't think he's going to drop it. That'll do it for the game. Thanks for joining us here, and that will do it.